All right. Do. We are live. Hello. Happy Monday. Got the chat pulled up on my phone. And we have a couple minutes until we get started. Just making sure the mic was on. And yeah, we have a couple minutes until we get started. We are a little earlier this week and next. We are 5 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time or 4 p.m. Eastern because I am substituting some local classes this Monday and next. So just a little earlier time slot. And then we'll be back to normal after these 2 weeks. The really nice thing about YouTube is I don't have to go through the footage afterwards. It's just there for you. So if you can't do it until later, it's available whenever you are ready. So we have 3 minutes until we get going. We are going to be working on split legs today. Absolutely no split experience is needed for this class. I do recommend having 2 blocks. These are really handy to help work towards our active split entries. And yeah, a couple minutes till we get started. I'm feeling pretty tired today. It is a Monday for sure. So many tech issues at work this morning, but we're here. I'm teaching 2 classes locally tonight that are yin, so that'll be really nice. A little unwind. Maybe we'll do a yin class next Monday. That would be really nice, actually. Next weekend is so busy for me. So, yeah. We have less than a minute until we get started. Excellent. So, welcome. If you are new here, my name is Rachel. We're here every Monday, usually at 7 p.m. ADT, but we are 5 p.m. this week and next, just due to some scheduling. And let's get started, shall we? We're going to work on some split leg positions today, working on nice active entries. And we'll start lying on our back. So if you want to slowly start making your way down, start by giving the legs stretch out long, letting the arms fall wherever is comfortable. We'll take just 3 nice deep breaths here to begin. Really filling the lungs with those inhales. And exhale, feel the body soften. Great, last breath. Great, finishing off that last breath, let's bring the feet to plant the width of the mat. So finding a nice wide plant and let the knees fall left and right. We just want to start finding some gentle movement through the hips, but taking these nice and slow to start. The inhale can pull through center, letting one knee open as wide as it can, and the exhale as the other chases it to the side. Great, we'll take a few more moments here, gently moving between these 2 sides. Oof, my hips are feeling rickety today. It was a very physically demanding weekend. That is summer. It's great though. All right. Start to slow these windshield wipers to a stop, bringing the feet to plant about hip width distance. I'm taking mine in just a step. Arms fall by the sides. Taking an inhale breath here, noticing that natural curve in the low back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone to press the low back down. Squeeze the glutes to lift the hips, bridge pose. Great. With your inhale, let's roll that down. Exhale, tuck to lift up. Nice. Inhale it down. Exhale it up. Great. Let's keep going through this pattern here. Taking 3 more of these rolls, really squeezing the glutes, feeling an opening through the hips at the top. Last 2. Hey, Dexter. Last 1. Great. Bringing the hips all the way back down. Right leg lengthens up towards the sky. This leg can be straight or it can have a gentle bend here. Hands can grab onto the calf, thigh, or even the foot. We'll start to move through some points and flexes with that right foot. Starting to find some gentle movement through our hamstrings. Great, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending with a flex in that foot, you can release the arms. With an inhale, bending into the right knee, bringing it towards the outside of the torso. Exhale to re-extend through that leg, driving the heel up. Like you're doing a leg press. Inhale, bends. Exhale, extends. Let's take 3 more here. This is 3. This is 2. And this is 1. Great, let's rebend onto that knee one more time. Right hand can come to grab back of thigh, big toe or outer edge of foot, finding a half happy baby. If you like here, you can also roll to the outer edge of the left foot, getting a little counterbalance there. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Great, rolling back to the bottom of the left foot. Let's release the right to replant. Take that right into the other side, lengthening the left leg up. Hands can grab again to shin, thigh, or even foot. We'll start to move through those points and flexes. Great, continuing with that nice deep breath we started with. Let's take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending with a bend in the left, or ending with a flex in the left foot, releasing the arms. Inhale, bend into the left knee. Exhale, drives that heel back up. Nice. Inhale, bends. Exhale, extends. Last 3. This is our 3rd. Well, this is 3. This is 2. And this is 1. Great. Let's bend into that left knee one more time. This time, the left hand can grab for back of thigh, big toe, outer edge of foot. Finding our half happy baby. If you did so on the other side, rolling to outer edge of the right foot. Gently opening that hip, finding that counterbalance. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Great. If you're on the outer edge of the right foot, bringing it back to bottom, releasing the left. Giving both knees a hug into the chest, hands slip into the knee pits. Contract the core around the spine and rock it up to a seat. Right away, we'll tuck off to one side here and come forward to find our tabletop position. Coming to all fours, hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. With an inhale, reaching the heart forward, shoulder blades squeeze together down. Exhale, push away, round and contract. Great, let's open that up again with an inhale. Exhale, tuck, round away. Great, let's take a couple more breaths here to start to move through the spine. Think about linking your movement to your breath. And maybe thinking about initiating this movement from the tailbone, letting that ripple up through the spine. Great, last two. And last one. Bringing the spine back to neutral. Let's give it toes a tuck with an inhale. Exhale, take the hips up and back, downward facing dog. First one here, so you can take a moment, maybe give a little pedal through the feet. Hello, Alice. Bending the knees as much as you need to lengthen through the spine here. We'll take 2 more breaths in our downward facing dog. Great. From here, let's take a slow walk to the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Nice soft bend in the knees, let the head hang heavy. With an inhale, lengthening through the spine, finding halfway lift. Exhale, release to fold. With an inhale, rising up to standing, big sweep of the arms. Exhale, forward fold, taking it right back down. Inhale, lengthens out the spine, halfway lift. And exhale, folds, planting the hands, step the left leg back and lowering that left knee to the ground. Inhaling up to find our low lunge. Now blocks can come in handy here if you have those to pop under the hands. Thinking about hips facing forward, tucking the tailbone, maybe inching that front foot forward to sink the hips down any amount. Nice. With an exhale, we'll move that back to a hamstring stretch. Our half split, straightening through the right leg, flexing the foot. Alice, you're making this really hard here. Inhales, shift that forward. Exhales, pull it back. Great. Let's take a couple more here, moving between these two shapes at the pace of your breath. It's my favorite way to start opening up our splits. When you're in your half split, really thinking about a long spine, so gently drawing the shoulder blades together. Let's take one more round. And then we'll pause in that hamstring stretch. And taking a moment, checking your alignment. Are the hips drifting off to one side? Trying to pull them back to center. Long spine, hinging any amount over that front leg. One more breath. Great. With the next inhale, shifting that back forward to your lunge. Let's tuck the back toes. Pressing into our blocks here, thinking about keeping the hips as low as possible. Let's try and lift that back knee and then re-tap it down. Exhale, lifts. Inhale, taps it back down. So we're here, we want to think about keeping the hips as low as possible, trying not to rise up too much. Working with how your splits are feeling today. I know I'm feeling a little stiff. Let's try for 3 more. This is 3, 2, and 1. Great, bringing that left knee back down. You can stay here or work towards a quad stretch. Squeezing that left heel in towards the butt. You can take left hand to reach back for that foot. Maybe drawing that in a little closer, continuing to send the hips down. I know when I start to go for the quad, my hips want to pull back and only pushing as far as feels safe for your body. Let's take one more breath. Great, releasing that quad stretch. Great, let's take these blocks. Alice, let's take these blocks a step forward, tucking the back toe to lift that knee and stepping that left foot in a step to come to our pyramid pose. So extending through the legs here, hips facing forward, long spine as we draw those shoulder blades, gently tuck the chin. Great, let's take one more breath. And then with an inhale, taking right hand to right shoulder. Exhale, peels the right shoulder open to the right side, finding a twist here. Maybe extending through that right arm. Great, bringing that right hand back down to your block. And we'll step it up to a forward fold. Nice soft bend in the knees, let the head hang heavy. Inhale, lengthen out the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise up to standing, big sweep of the arms. Exhale, release the arms by side body. Great, we're gonna take a quad stretch at the top here too, shifting weight over to the right foot. Squeeze the left heel into the butt. Left hand can reach back for that foot. Then think about tucking the tailbone, gently drawing that heel maybe a little closer. A little squeeze of the glutes, feeling an opening through the hips. For 3, 2, 1, release. Inhale takes a sweep of the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, stepping the right leg back, right knee lowers, and rising up to find your low lunge here. We're gonna move that sequence into the other side. So just like in the first one, think about hips facing forward in our lunge, tucking the tailbone, and then sending the hips down any amount that feels good for your body. With our exhale, taking it back to a hamstring stretch, shifting the hips back, left leg extends, flexing into that foot. Nice, noticing if those hips are drifting off to one side. Let's try and recenter. Inhale takes it forward to lunge. Exhale pulls it back. Great, just like the other side, we'll take some time to move between these two at your own pace. Great, let's find 2 more rounds here. I feel like I almost never teach a class without this low lunge half split sequence, but it's just so good. It's the best. All right, this is our last round. And we'll hold that hamstring stretch this time. So next time you're there, pausing for a moment, thinking about squaring off through the hips, drawing the shoulder blades together, maybe hinging any amount over that left leg. Great, let's rebend into that left knee. And we're gonna go for those little knee lifts. So tucking the right toes. Great, thinking about length through the spine. I've got my blocks right by my sides here. When you're ready, with an exhale, trying to lift that knee, keeping the hips low. Inhale, taps. Exhale, lifts. Nice little tap. And lift. What are you doing, Alice? Great, squeezing that glute. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great, lowering that right knee back down. Could untuck the toes and come into our quad stretch. Now you could stay in this lunge if you don't feel comfortable in the quad stretch here. Squeezing the right heel in towards the butt. Right hand reaches back for that foot, maybe drawing that in a little closer as we continue to send the hips down. Great, let's take one more breath here. You can always double up that mech for extra knee padding as well. Ooh, I'm so much tighter on this side. Oh, let's release. Give the back toes a tuck, knee lifts, blocks take a step forward, and stepping that right leg in just a touch to get into our pyramid pose. So toes are facing towards the top of the mat, hips are squared off, so we're not open to one side, and drawing the shoulder blades together, finding that long spine here. Let's take one breath in stillness. And with the next inhale, taking left hand to the shoulder. Exhale, opens the left shoulder to the left side of the room, maybe keeping it there or extending through that arm, finding a twist. Great, one breath. And then taking that left hand back down, right foot steps forward, and release, soft knees to forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise to standing, big sweep of the arms. Exhale, arms by side body. Shifting weight over to the left foot, right heel squeezes into the butt. Right hand can reach back for that foot. Think about tucking the tailbone as the hips send forward, squeezing that heel in any amount. Standing tall through the spine. Let's hold here for 3, 2, 1, releasing. Nice. Inhale, sweeps the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen it out, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Planting the hands, we'll step it back to plank, send the hips back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, maybe give a little pedal through the feet if that feels good. Great. From here, let's go ahead and lower those knees to the ground to our tabletop position. Great. Maybe giving the hips a little bump left and right here. And then we're going to start to work into our active split entries. So with an inhale, send the right leg back, lift it up off the mat. Exhale, pulls knee to nose, stepping that foot through. Grabbing our blocks. Let's bring those up by our sides and rise up to find our low lunge. Again, hips facing forward, tuck the tailbone, sending the hips down any amount. And with an exhale, pulling it back, hamstring stretch, straightening through the right leg. But let's keep that foot pointed this time, so we're not going to take our flex. I'm going to bring my blocks right up by my side so I can rise up really nice and tall through my spine. So here we're in our half split pose because my hips are stacked basically right over my back knee here. Now you can stay here, or we can take that a step forward, inching that front foot. So now my hips are just past my knee, coming towards more of a 3/4 split. I'm going to take a peek back at my left leg to make sure the foot is in line with the rest of the leg. We're not sickled off to one side or the other. And really think about squaring off through the hips. So we're drawing that right hip back. Now maybe you can get light on your blocks here, or even take the hands off. Continuing to actively square off through that hip as you pull the right leg back for 3, 2, 1. Hands can come back down to the blocks. And we're going to take that a step further. Now you can always stay here, or if you'd like to inch that front foot forward, we can take that a little bit deeper. And again, we're going to find that same thing, thinking about actively squaring off through the hips. So I'm drawing that right leg back, pulling the left hip forward. Coming light on my blocks, maybe lifting the hands for 3, 2, 1. Hands come back down. Nice. Let's take that one more step, knowing you can always stop wherever you feel comfortable, either inching that front foot forward, or I also like to tuck my back toe to lift my knee, give a little square through the hips, and take it back down. That'll also help you get a little lower. And our last round. Again, light on the blocks, actively square off through the hip, tuck the tailbone, arms reach, or lift for 3, 2, 1. Nice, taking it back down. Let's take a few more breaths in your most comfortable, safe feeling deep split today. I knew I was too tight to get into it today. Great, let's take about 3 more breaths here, really using those exhales. Oh, we're almost there. Great, when we're ready to get out, pressing into those blocks, start to draw that front heel back, slowly, back, slowly, until we can step it all the way back to our tabletop. Nice. Give the hips a little shake off. Ooh, that drill just destroys my hip flexors. And we're going to take that into the other side. With an inhale, let's send the left leg back. Exhale, steps the left foot between the hands. Rising up to find that low lunge. Tucking the tailbone, sending the hips down. Exhale, pull it back, hamstring stretch. Nice. This time we're going to take a point through this front toe instead of our usual flex in our half split. I'm going to walk those blocks up by my side so I can come tall through the spine. So here we're in our half split, hip stacked over the knee, but you can always stay here, or we can take that a little bit deeper to move towards our 3/4. So inching that front foot just a step. I want to go too deep to start. So now my hips are past my knee here. While we're here, thinking about actively squaring off through the hips, so drawing that left leg back, so bringing that right hip forward. Maybe coming light on your blocks or lifting the arms for 3, 2, and 1. Nice, hands come back down, and we can take this a step deeper if that feels good for you. Inching that front foot forward. Again, blocks by the sides, tall through the spine. Actively square off through the hips. And coming light on the blocks or reaching for 3, 2, 1. Nice, hands come back down to go into our final round. Either inching that front foot forward or maybe giving that back toe a tuck, squaring off the hips and sinking that down from there. This is my very bad side. Ugh. And we're gonna go for one more round. Tuck the tailbone, square off the hips. Lifting for 3, 2, 1. Oof, this side feels so much worse. All right, let's take a few breaths here in our deepest split leg position we can get into tonight. Wow, I haven't actively trained my splits in probably a month now because I had like a hamstring strain a while back. So, yeah. All right, let's take one more full breath. And when you're ready, starting to press into those blocks as you drag that front foot back a little bit, back a little bit, and back until we can step it all the way back to our tabletop. Blocks can take a tuck off to the side and give the hips a little shake out. Then we'll take a seat off to one side and bring the legs in front. Ooh, let's take a few windshield wipers. Give that a little wiggle out. Great. Ooh, big hip crack. And we're gonna roll it down onto the back from here. So whenever you're ready, planting those feet, you could reach the arms forward or bring hands behind the legs to slowly guide it down. When you arrive on the back, giving the legs a stretch out long. With an inhale, pulling the right knee into the chest. Exhale takes the right knee across body towards the left, finding a twist here. Thinking about shoulders anchoring down towards the mat. And you can stay here, or if you'd like to work towards a deeper twist, we can go into cat grabbing its tail, kicking the right leg straight out to the left side so the left hand can capture that foot or calf. Left heel is going to squeeze in towards the butt. Right hand reaches down for that foot and then re-anchoring that right shoulder. This is a pretty intense twist. So finding whichever one feels better for you tonight. Take 3 more breaths. Great, slowly releasing. Let's roll that back to center on the back. So right leg stretches out long. And with an inhale, pulling the left knee in. Exhale takes the left knee across body towards the right. Again, thinking about shoulders anchoring down. And if you'd like to work towards that cat grabbing its tail pose, left leg kicks out to the right side. Right hand reaches for the calf or foot. Right heel squeezes in towards the butt. Left hand reaches down to grasp. And then replacing that left shoulder back on the mat. This is a pretty intense one. Let's take 3 more breaths, whichever twist you are in. Great, slowly starting to release. Rolling that back to center. Giving that left leg a stretch out long. Letting the arms start to fall wherever is comfortable. We'll take 5 nice deep breaths here. Letting each exhale soften through the body. Great, whenever you're ready, taking a roll off to whichever side feels more comfortable. Opposite hand can press up to a seat. And thank you for being here tonight. Oops, there we go. 5:28, all right. Time to go teach my other 2 classes tonight. I'll see you guys at 5 p.m. again next Monday, and after that we'll be back to our regular 7 p.m. Sorry for the inconvenience, but luckily these recordings are available immediately. Thanks for being here. Also, if you're on Patreon, we have a live Also, if you're on Patreon, we have a live yin yang tomorrow night, Tuesday at 7 p.m. And then Thursday, we have our regular live Pilates at 7 p.m. Link is below. Options for as low as $8 up to $12.50 Canadian for all classes and supporting me. Thanks. See you next time.